Welcome back.
Welcome.
This is
Episode
technically
7.
episode 10. This is technically episode 10.
Guys, we had it going for a bit, but we crashed out last night.
We messed up.
So this is a re-record.
After
Of a re-record.
There will be bloopers that I will release of me crashing out.
I did
I'm embarrassed.
reading, and I will still relay that tarot reading, but you miss out on the shuffle. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
This is my apology, my public apology, because it was mostly me that crashed out. But we got some content out of it because you will get to watch me Boston crash out.
It was fun.
So stay tuned for that.
Unaware.
We'll get a blooper series.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We were over here laughing and having a grand old time.
We cursed ourselves because I started last week by saying, like, oh, we kind of had a pretty, like, steady week of news. Like, it wasn't anything, like, usually we're really trying to keep it under an hour, 10 minutes. But, like, this week we were it was okay. And I think that because I said that and I put that into the universe said, bet you're going to have to re-record this episode multiple times. Because it's not easy. Nothing's ever easy. And you know what? No. That's fine. That's my bad. No. I'll never say that again. But here we go. Let's just dive right in.
Well, let's go. So, HR 2039 was a bill that was introduced by House Rep Michael Cloud from Texas. That is a bill that would stop the government from taking guns during emergencies, particularly regarding public health declarations. That was an immediate red flag because what do guns and public health declarations have to do with each other? Sounds to me like that is what is going to be called when they come to take the guns. And I always thought the Democrats were the ones that were supposed to come take the guns. That's what they told me my entire teenage and adult life. But look at that. It looks like somebody's afraid that Daddy Trump wants to come take away your pew-pew.
And we know what they're going to say. As always, they're going to be like, they're going to find a way to agree with their cult daddy, and that's fine. And I'm already calling it, like I said last night, that they're going to say that they don't need their guns. They're going to say, we don't need them guns. They got rid of all them illegals, and now we're safe. We don't need the pew-pews anymore. You can take them because they got rid of all them criminals. There's no more crime.
The ones in the White House. But hey, just for those who are freaking out about this, don't freak out about this, because voluntarily, if we all decided to line up and be like, here you go, Mr. Daddy, sir, let me lick your boots at the same time, and just handed over all of our weapons willy-nilly, it would still take 66 years, give or take, just to collect them. That has nothing to do with the actual enforcement of any laws they may or may not pass. And the next administration can just undo the law. So whatever they pass, anything that they could potentially get done in the next 4 years would be negligible. So don't freak out. They're not going to be able to come take our guns. That's good. That's going to require complying in advance. And we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that.
Not over here.
Not here.
Not over here. So I just am calling it that's the excuse that MAGA's going to use, as they're not going to hand their pew-pews over, guys. This is all going to be whoever's willing to hand them over first, and it's not going to be them. So yeah, if you're worried, don't be, because nobody's giving up the pew-pews. They're just not.
That's not it.
But we've got an ICE update. So I've pretty much taken control of the ICE updates every week because it's never ending. But last week, I told the story of Jimena Arias Cristobal. She is 19 years old from Dalton, Georgia. She was stopped for a traffic violation where they accused her of turning right at a red light without using a turn signal. She had an international driver's license. They arrested her, brought her to jail because she didn't have a Georgia driver's license, and then she was handed over to ICE. And Everybody in the comments was saying she deserved it because she should be following traffic laws, and if you break the law, you pay the price. And boy, I would love to hear what they say about this, because turns out the dash camera showed the cop pulled over the wrong car. So Jimena did not commit any traffic violations. The only violation was apparently driving a similar car. And not even similar, guys. They were supposed to pull over a black pickup truck, and they ended up pulling over a light gray pickup truck that is a different make and model. So pulled over the wrong car. And so you would think that they would say, oh my God, we're in the wrong. We're releasing her. We're so sorry. Everything's dropped. We apologize. No. They said, we'll drop the traffic charges, but she is going to remain in ICE custody. And we're not apologizing for what happened. Of course. So she's still in ICE custody. Thankfully, because everyone spoke out and everyone was so loud, she does have a legal team, and the legal team has scheduled a hearing. And her hearing is, I believe, tomorrow. So we're recording on Monday. I believe it is Tuesday. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm coming off a crash out. But I do know that it's this week. So next week, we'll have an update on what happens at the hearing. Based on her legal team finding this out, because it's her legal team that investigated and was able to get the dash camera footage and realize they pulled over the wrong car. The police department didn't find that out themselves. The lawyers did. So she's got a good legal team. Okay? She's got a good legal team. We will see what happens. But just so you know, it's the Wild Wild West. And if you're in Dalton, Georgia, maybe call up your local police department and ask them why they refuse to apologize or right any wrongs. Because we saw in our comments that this is not the first time that this police department was involved in something like this. Just saying, if you're in Georgia. But next, we have Kristi Noem. So Kristi Noem had a House hearing this past week, and she was grilled. And boy, was she grilled. She was grilled. She was filleted on both sides, and she was looking crusty and dusty at the end. They first asked her about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, because we're not done talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. You can move him. You didn't even move him to CCOT. Bukele did. They had no hand in that. But they think because that happened that we were going to stop talking about it? No. So they asked, what have you done to facilitate his return? To which she just went on a rampage of saying that he is a woman beater. How dare we defend somebody who is a criminal? Wasn't answering the question. Like they never answer the questions, as we all know. So she didn't answer that question. All she said was, it's wild that we're still talking about him. It's wild that we have to keep talking about him. That's what I think's wild. And then they said, okay, well, if you're not going to answer that, you can at least address this photo I have behind me, which was addressed by Trump, who fully believes with his entire chest that the tattoos and what is it? Like, what font is it? It's like freaking
Arial,
Times Roman. Yeah. MS13, which is basically them saying that the symbols, what they believe it stood for, which was MS13, he said that was real. So they said, can you at least, for the people, say that this was a doctored picture, this was Photoshop? And she said, I can't see it. I'm actually blind. So they said, we'll bring the photo to you. Don't you even worry, honey. So they brought the photo and literally put it in front of her face. And she was like, he's a criminal, he's a criminal, he's a criminal. Criminal, criminal, criminal. That is wild. A literal child could not look at the picture. And she called him dangerous. They asked for evidence. She doesn't have any. So they moved on. They were like, all right, let's address the children. There are 2 U.S. citizens that were deported. One of them currently has stage 4 cancer, was getting treatment in the States. And she said they were disappeared because the mothers wanted them to go with them on the plane. Well, there's already lawyers involved in these cases, and the lawyers are saying that's not what happened. The lawyers are actually saying that the mothers begged DHS not to put the children on the plane because they realize they have a much better life here in this country, and that's why they came here. So why would they want them on the plane? They didn't. To that, she stayed silent, which is wild for her. Stayed silent, didn't answer that one. Finally, she decided, I haven't embarrassed myself enough. So I'm going to jump on the bandwagon with Stephen Miller and say that, yes, I do agree that we should suspend habeas corpus. And her reasoning is that the border crisis counts as an invasion and our sitting president has the authority to act accordingly, to which you have heard all of us screaming. He doesn't get to wake up in the morning and decide to suspend habeas corpus. He doesn't get to wake up in the morning and declare martial law. Those are not things he has the authority to do. This is why we have 3 branches of government. Okay? He can't just do these things. We don't have a dictatorship. This would be a Congress thing, and then SCOTUS could get involved. They could fight it. They could block it. That's why we have checks and balances.
Government people, co-equal branches of government for a reason. Balances for a reason.
Yes.
Sorry that Mike Johnson can't be bothered to do his part of the Congress checks, but that doesn't mean the rest of Congress can't do their job. That doesn't mean SCOTUS can't do their job. That doesn't mean the vice president can't do his job, other than, sucking dick or whatever.
And it's just your basic fear mongering that is being done by your cabinet members, which is saying we could do it, even though we all know you can't. And wrapped it up by saying, but I'm not a constitutional lawyer. I'm just saying that I think it's justified. And that's how it ended. So just letting you guys know, it's clown activity happening. And if you're watching the House hearings and you think they're going to answer any questions, they're not going to. It's literal clown shows. So there's the ICE update for the week.
When they do.
Infuriating as ever.
When they do answer questions, not the answers you want to hear. Throw it out there.
They don't know how to answer yes or no questions. That's for sure.
Yes and no are completely unknown words to them, unless it's in their favor.
Yeah.
Not in their vocabulary. Not at all.
They're too busy pizza doxing each other to give a crap about yes or no answers. Pizza. What's that? You haven't heard of pizza doxing? Well, kids, let me tell you something. No, this is actually a very serious story. I just have to make light of it because I got all the sad stories this week.
Sorry.
All right.
My bad.
Fortunately, this story actually starts back in 2020. Judge Esther Salas was attacked in her home with her family in 2020 by a lawyer. Imagine an attorney. An attorney who posed as a delivery person. As a result, they entered the building and attacked her husband, Mark Anderl, who was critically injured in the attack, and shot and killed their son, Daniel. So that was in 2020. Recently, and at least since late February, but likely prior to that, I would imagine since the election, possibly before, although that's speculation. Daniel Anderl, the son of Judge Salas, who passed away in 2020 when he was shot and killed, apparently has been ordering pizza to federal judges' addresses and the addresses of their family and friends with very threatening messages such as, I know where you live. Imagine getting that, because that's what J. Michelle Childs received. She was one of the most recent recipients of this threat. And make no mistake, that's a threat. That is a threat on bodily harm. That is a threat on their life. That is a threat on families. That's not okay. And of course, this is federal jurisdiction. These are federal judges cross state lines. The FBI is not involved, nor is the Department of Justice. You'd think the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, would be all over this when directly federal judges are the ones being targeted in this attack. No, only the U.S. Marshals so far have been doing any kind of investigation. That's interesting. You'd think they'd want to protect these people, but I wonder why they're being threatened. Oh, is it because every single one of them is working on a case involving Trump or his cabinet or people who support him? Every single one of them? That's interesting. And, yeah, that just sends my little spidey senses a tingling, doesn't it? Doesn't it send yours a tingling?
That's suspicious. That's
weird.
I don't know, guys. I don't know about you, but I don't want to get pizza doxxed, but I want pizza. Just without the death threat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, they're going to say, just be grateful that somebody sent you some pizza.
There's Starbucks in Gaza where coming soon, Trump Tower 2.0 is coming. Mar-a-Lago.
Grateful.
Mar-a-Lago extension.
Gosh, it's just absolutely insane behavior.
Draining.
But not as insane as this hearing that happened.
Beautiful hearing.
RFK Jr. also got a crack at a congressional hearing this past week, except he chose a different route than Kristi. He chose to answer the questions, which is like a first for any of these cabinet members. So he's obviously being grilled on the measles outbreak to start because he likes to think that's not a thing. And he was asked straight up, would you advise your family to get the vaccine due to this measles outbreak? To which he responded and said, I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me. That is coming from the mouth of the Health and Human Services Secretary, whose literal job is to oversee health and human services, doctors, medical practices, our health and well-being. Don't trust him. And you know what? He's right. It's almost like all of us have been saying that he's not qualified.
Oh my goodness.
Never been qualified, never gonna be qualified. And we shouldn't be taking medical advice from somebody who is swimming in sewage water filled with bacteria, who thinks long studied vaccines that have been working for decades should have placebo trials while an outbreak is currently underway and killing people.
Already trials to determine their effectiveness, like that already didn't happen.
We've already been there, done that. He has delayed the flu vaccine from happening. And so we are not probably going to be seeing a flu vaccine this year. So all of this is happening. And he's saying, don't trust him.
Don't take medical advice from me.
Then he didn't end there. Then he decided to propose that they fire 20,000 public health workers in the middle of a measles outbreak. Then dismantle the SAMHSA. Oh my gosh, I can't even say all these acronyms. SAMHSA, and replace it. Just rename it, rebrand, because we love rebranding, and call it the Administration for Healthy Americans. I'm not feeling like we're all healthy right now.
I'm gonna throw the phone number 202-697-7000. 202-690-7000. That will take you directly to the Health and Human Services office, including.
And I'm not done.
Secretary.
He didn't end there. You would think he ended there. He didn't. He continued.
But call to him, motherfucker. He already admitted he's not qualified. This is just on the cake. What happens next?
Then he ended by saying that ultra-processed food is a genocide against Native Americans, while also slashing all the health programs that would investigate and address the food injustice in our country. Make it make sense, but it doesn't need to make sense because he made it make sense for us by saying, I don't know what I'm doing, don't trust me. So yes, he embarrassed himself. We should be calling and saying, look, he said it, not me. I mean, I have been saying it, but like he said it out of his mouth. But those are his words.
Here's the audio.
Play the audio and ask why he hasn't stepped down.
Nobody should be taking medical advice from me.
I mean, just go look at my TikTok. I literally, it comes out of his mouth. I'm not like, that's what they have it online. You can go rewatch the hearing for yourself, but I literally clipped it for you guys on the TikTok.
Yeah.
So just saying, that's what happened. Those were our cabinet meetings, both embarrassments. Just both embarrassing.
And that's embarrassing. I mean, like both of them are admitting they don't know how to do their job, that they're not qualified for their jobs.
And then they go, what? That's not what I meant.
Meritocracy, right?
What did you mean?
My God, it's this.
Say it. What did you mean?
What do you mean by that?
Don't trust me, bro? I don't.
They just gave me this job. I didn't want it. Like, what do you mean?
I swear to God, KK Caroline Levitt hates getting up in the morning. I think she hates her life and hates her job. You can, like...
Good. I hate her, too. And I hate her life. I hate that she wakes up in the morning.
She knows a Lysandra Vasquez video is coming. She's like 10 hours feed her. Later.
She's got to give her the content.
With a nugget box or some shit.
Somebody should update her Wikipedia. Instead of saying the press secretary, it should say like content, like creates content for Lysandra Vasquez.
Lysandra Vasquez's social media manager.
Somebody should do that. That would literally send her skyrocketing.
And then change Lysandra Vasquez's to press secretary.
So good. So good. Somebody should do that and change the picture of her on Wikipedia to Lysandra.
Oh my God.
Dressed as her.
Oh my God.
Please.
Would have a literal crash out.
I'm saying somebody should do it.
Stupid big crosses.
Like
just random shit.
I need somebody to do it.
Chicken nugget one, I think, at one point.
It's just like random shit.
All around the house, she creates a fucking cross.
And then change it every week to the new version. Somebody needs to just make that their like once a week job.
And then she mocked the mom posted with her dog on her with a beer bottle stuffy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was wild. But on to part of the not great things that happened this week.
Yeah. Hate to make you kill the vibe.
More sad news. Hello. Welcome.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is a content trigger warning. Here we are going to be talking about something a little hard to listen to regarding reproductive health, abortion care, and pregnancy and mother loss, etc. So I apologize if this is a very difficult story to hear. It was a very difficult story to write and read and listen to. Here we go. Adriana Smith. She is a mother to a 7-year-old son who was very proud of her when she graduated. She's a nurse, I believe an ICU nurse at Emory Hospital. She works so hard. And she was 9 weeks pregnant when she went to the hospital complaining of really bad headaches. Anybody who's in the medical field knows that if you are pregnant and experiencing really bad severe headaches along with any other symptoms that she was experiencing, like I believe it mentioned her blood pressure was wonky, you know that's a really bad warning sign and immediately admitted to the hospital and run some tests. Unfortunately for Adriana, racist practices in hospitals still exist today. And Black women's pain is often ignored, downplayed, and just brushed off. So instead of getting a CT scan, which was entirely warranted and would have revealed the blood clots in her brain that resulted in her death hours later, they sent her home with prescription painkillers and said goodnight. And this was the hospital where she worked. She worked there. I don't know about you, but the nurses I know don't seek medical attention unless it is severe. And she was brushed off and sent home to die. But that's not the end of the story. Because when she was found by her boyfriend unresponsive in a very terrifying way, they were told that she was brain dead. And they had to explain to her 7-year-old that, no, mommy is not just sleeping. And she will never wake up again. On top of that, they can't even have an actual goodbye. Because she is stuck there, pregnant, with machines doing everything for her, including regulating her temperature and doing their best to regulate her hormones, which are extremely necessary for proper fetal development. The fetus is likely not viable. This is more than just a Georgia abortion ban law, and this is more than just a brain-dead pregnant woman from Georgia being left on life support because of an abortion ban. It's more than that, though that's probably the only headline y'all have really seen about Adriana Smith. But really, Adriana's body is being kept alive. This is my opinion, and it is speculation, because I have no way to confirm this without causing severe... I'm not going to call up her mother, April, and ask her, hey, was your daughter an organ donor? But unfortunately, I think very much that Adriana likely was an organ donor. If it were just about the abortion ban law, a compassionate doctor could sign off and say that this fetus is medically futile. This pregnancy is medically futile, basically meaning it is not sustainable with life. As unfortunate as it is, a brain-dead person cannot properly maintain the bodily functions necessary to grow a person properly. It can't. I don't know if y'all have seen that episode of Grey's Anatomy where Addison details why it's not possible, really, to allow for a healthy pregnancy to continue in this way. It would be one thing if she were already in her 3rd trimester and near the end when most of the development had already occurred. The fact of the matter is she was 9 weeks pregnant. 9 weeks pregnant. The tissue's see-through. The genitals are not distinguishable from male or female. They're grown exactly the same way. It very well could have ended in a miscarriage at this point, regardless. My gut feeling is that they are being kept alive because they have been moved to Emory University Hospital, which is known for organ donation and transplant. 24/7 facilitation of organ transplant. She is now 21 or 22 weeks, which is the week of viability for a fetus outside of the womb. I have a sick feeling in my stomach that they are simply growing organs to donate at this point, because there is no reason a doctor wouldn't be able to sign off and give Adriana's family the choice that her mother, April Newkirk, has begged for, saying, quote, I just want the choice. That's all I've been asking for. Just let us decide what's best for Adriana. This is a matter of Adriana's personhood being taken away from her family, for the fact of possibly signing up to be an organ donor while getting her license at the DMV. So if you're in Georgia, think twice about checking yes to be an organ donor, because I did not know this, but apparently that overrules next of kin's decisions on what happens to you in the event of you being in a coma and being unable to speak for yourself. Next of kin does not get the final say. First person consent does, which includes signing a document at the DMV. Again, it's speculation. I cannot confirm if she's an organ donor or if that's what's happening. That is simply my gut reaction when I was reading more about her story. And there's one last thing I want to emphasize. The maternal mortality rate of Black women in this country per 100,000 live births in 2023 was 50 to 51 women died per 100,000 births. For reference, white women, the number was 14 to 15. For Asian women, that number was 10 to 13. So Black women were up to 5 times more likely to die just in childbirth, not counting pregnancy statistics.
Yeah, definitely feels like an experiment.
Yeah.
Feels like they're experimenting.
I mean, speculation or not, speculation or not, what has happened is absolutely inhumane. The complete and utter disregard for basic human rights, the utter lack of, dignity that this family has had stripped from them. And thankfully, and not even thankfully, unfortunately, this has had to become public
in order to get any kind of,
in order for movement.
In order for any movement. And on top of it, everybody's like, oh, the Handmaid's Tale, the Handmaid's Tale, the Handmaid's Tale, the Handmaid's Tale. They have been teasing this for a while. There was an article I had read a while back about possibly using comatose women as surrogates.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the technology to potentially actually create a human being out of your body, the body regulation, yes, machines can do it, but not as well as a human brain.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not at that point yet where we can actually create incubators. We're just not.
Yeah.
And one last statistic, because I did find it. Pregnancy-related deaths. White women, 13 per 100,000 live births. American Indian and Alaskan Native women, 30. So already we're up to 3 times. Black women, it's 41. So almost 4 times as likely to die in pregnancy.
And this would not be the first time they're experimenting on Black people
at all.
in this country.
Absolutely.
Slavery already going back that far. They were performing hysterectomies, forced sterilizations, C-sections with chainsaws on Black women first. This was happening on Black women first because of a false belief that their skin was hide and therefore thicker and that they experienced pain less than us. I'm sorry. The color of your skin does not dictate how thick it is, and it does not dictate your pain tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
Tuskegee experiments. Google it, people.
We know that a lot of our viewers are also people who make content online or write content. This is just something we would like to address, is if you are going to make content on a situation like this, please, please, please just be super cautious of your wording. Do the research, look up the articles. Do not make a grabby headline that says brain dead woman is an incubator. She's a human being. She has a name. She has a family. Let's just have some dignity and respect when we're making videos like this. So if you're listening, and not just her, any tragedy, this is somebody's tragedy. This is somebody's real life. This is something her family's going to have to live with and process in real time. It is not a headline grab for you to make money off of. This is not the only situation that's happening right now that is like absolutely devastating, that I'm seeing just the most heinous headline grab videos or headline grab articles.
And they're all the same. They're all exactly the same. They use the same verbiage every time, and it's sickening. Every
Mm-hmm.
article I could find on Adriana Smith was brain dead pregnant woman, brain dead
Yeah.
mother, brain dead pregnant mother. And then they kept using pictures of her in her 3rd trimester pregnant with her previous pregnancy with her healthy, alive son who misses her.
And it's not fair because it paints a picture that isn't true. And now it makes it look like that's where she was at right now, that she was in a 3rd trimester. So if you didn't actually read the article, you'd be thinking, why is everybody up in arms on this? But it takes reading the article to see that she was only 9 weeks. But the picture makes it look like she was almost at the end. And that's just not the case. And like I said, just be careful what you're ingesting. And also, if you're somebody who's creating content or you're writing news articles, let's lead with humanity and respect for the person, for their family, for their friends, for their community that is currently dealing with this and has to live with this, and probably doesn't want to open up their phone and read what you have said or written that doesn't even mention her name. It's just not. That's not it. My little PSA.
Well said. Well said.
Well, and yeah, that's my piece.
I guess in better news, probably not. Medium news.
Big
No, just this news is going to show just how heinous it still is out there.
Yeah. So, oh, I skipped one. So that big beautiful bill that they were trying to pass through the budgetary committee last week, it got blocked because 5 Republicans said the Medicaid cuts are not enough. They need to suffer more. Okay, we need more people to not have insurance. And there was a stat that said if they were to go through with this, 21,000 people would die a year for this. So, and then last night, as we were recording, there was an update because the Republicans like to pass things in the dead of night when everybody's sleeping so they cannot receive the outrage immediately.
Mm-hmm.
The bill was passed through the budgetary committee. It still has to go through the House and Senate, but it passed the budgetary committee, and it's over 1,000 pages. So I'm sure nobody has fully gotten through it yet. But one thing I saw that stuck out to me in a video by someone that was starting to go through it is that they are selling Las Vegas. They're selling Las Vegas. They're like, America, when you say America's for sale, it's quite fucking literally. They're trying, I don't know who it is. I'm
To who?
assuming it has something to do.
To
The
Putin?
person that, it was What the Hill. I was watching her video, and I think she was speculating. Oh my god! If you happen to watch this, please don't kill me. I think it's the. I'm gonna say I'm speculating. It was the Saudi. It's Saudi Arabia.
Oh my god, we're cooked.
Yeah. There was a lot of verbiage in there that essentially equated to that they're trying to sell Las Vegas. That's where we're at. And then there was, typical run of the mill. They're trying to.
We went from Twin Towers to selling Las Vegas. I'm sorry. We went from Twin Towers to selling Las Vegas.
And accepting a whole plane. A whole plane.
I got to look into it more, but it was Aaron Parnas. I didn't watch the video yet, but he said that he was the one that went to them about the plane first.
What?
That's
wild. Yeah.
Here's my crash out. Fuck. I can't. Oh my god. I need to go do something real quick. I'll be right back.
That's where we're at right now. They're trying to take away Medicaid. They're getting closer. They're accepting they're not accepting planes. They're reaching out about planes that they shouldn't be accepting it anyway. They're trying to sell Las Vegas. And then after that, last week, Trump's lawyers decided to visit the Supreme Court not once but twice. First, with the same old. They're trying to kidnap and traffic people with the Alien Enemies Act. These were a group of migrants in Texas. Um, immigrants in Texas, right? Oh my god! So they're only getting 24 hours beforehand of a notification that they are going to be deported, but it's not deportation; they're trafficking them, which essentially they're doing it on purpose so they cannot get their shit together, get their legal representation together because they don't like that little habeas corpus thing.
No, they do not.
So yeah, so the Supreme Court, they ruled 7-2. He cannot just straight up send these people out of here just because obviously Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas dissented because they're pieces of shit. What's new? So that happened. We'll wait to see if they decide to actually, follow that court ruling because, they do that whole not following the Supreme Court thing too. So that was visit number one. Visit number two, where they also told him to go fuck himself, was about them trying to they're not even trying to change it. They're trying to get rid of birthright citizenship, like as a whole. The 14th Amendment. Let's read it. So, the 14th Amendment addresses citizenship and equal protection under the law. It defines citizenship for all persons born or naturalized in the United States and guarantees equal protection under the laws. The amendment also includes provisions related to due process, the apportionment of representatives, and the prohibition of those who engaged in insurrection or rebellion from holding office. That man does not like anything that has to do with the 14th Amendment because he did that little insurrection thing, and now he's in office. So the Supreme Court, they were cooking him in that hearing.
They said, "Don't come back here."
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
They said, "Lock the doors."
They're like, stop coming here. Why do you keep coming here with this bullshit? Why are you coming here? They are all, even Amy Coney Barrett. I believe she was a constitutional professor at Notre Dame. Even she's like, I'm a fucking handmaid, but what the fuck are you doing here, dude? What are you doing? Why do you keep coming back here?
Go
home. Go home, Donald. Go home. Please. God. Like, enough. Yeah. So, this is not going to be the last time they're going to try to bring birthright citizenship to the Supreme Court.
Fucking batty about that? Donald's mother is a goddamn immigrant.
His children
would be affected by the birthright citizenship.
Well, actually, no, because birthright citizenship only affects if you're
rules for thee, not for me.
So, if I remember right, somebody fact check. His father was an American, so therefore,
I think he was German.
No, his father was an American. His grandfather was German.
You're right.
His father was American. So Trump wouldn't be affected by birthright citizenship because his father was an American. If both parents were immigrants, then it would matter. So that's...
I don't know, man.
But that's...
I don't know, man.
Is he literally... He dates immigrants, he marries immigrants, he cheats with immigrants, he marries more immigrants, he cheats with more immigrants, he marries more immigrants, he cheats with porn stars.
Employs them and then doesn't pay them fair wages.
Mm-hmm.
Then they, dish about his tiny micro penis and his incontinence.
Yeah.
Like,
in the court, under oath. That was the...
Just stop.
Why don't we palate cleanse with the president we do like?
Is it much of a palate cleanse?
I mean, with your outlook on it.
Fair. Okay. All right. I did bring up a joyous outlook on this, and I'm going to sidetrack a little bit with Letterkenny Season 10, Episode 4. Men, get your freaking prostates checked. Because that is, probably he actually got it diagnosed through a blood test, because they can really do it through a blood test now, so fellas, you can get your prostate checked pretty easily now. I think they
For you.
without you getting up the ass.
Women over here like,
Yeah, we get the scoop down a little more,
and then let me just
more,
crank it.
a little more.
And then let me just stick this thing in here.
A duck bill.
And then a third one for good measure. And then my whole arm.
A little something.
You're going to feel some cramping and you'll probably bleed a little after. But
For the school.
no worries.
Fine. Oh, it looks like you're ovulating, hun.
Come back in 2 years. We'll do this again.
Yep. So yeah, both exams very important. One checks for cervical cancer, one checks for prostate cancer, which unfortunately President Joe Biden does have. The good news is he's got the best fucking doctors in the entire country. I mean, he's surrounded by doctors. And no, I don't mean Dr. Joe Biden, who is an academic doctor with a doctorate, not a medical degree. Donnie Jr., you might need a little prescription every once in a while, but I'm sorry, Dr. Joe Biden can't prescribe that for you. You're going to have to find a different doctor for that.
Maybe RFK Jr. He's probably a doctor.
Yeah. It can hook you up with a little something something. Jeez.
Street pharmacist.
Oh my God. So Biden is probably going to be fine in the near future. I did do a tarot reading for him when we did our original recording, and I will go over that later. But overall, his outlook's pretty decent. With treatment, he's probably got 4 to 10 years, depending on other factors. This man can still drive. Like, I doubt he's going to go anywhere anytime soon. And if he does, this man has suffered loss after loss after loss. He's in his 80s. And I don't think he would be horribly upset to be reunited with his lost children. One who died of brain cancer, one who was lost in a car accident, along with his wife. And I don't remember, but I believe she was pregnant.
I don't remember.
But it's freaking heartbreaking what he went through. And then people were messing with Hunter Biden. And I'm like, shut the fuck up until you've experienced that kind of loss. Like, and Hunter Biden isn't even out here doing, like, running for president. Like, fuck you. When he runs for president, then you can dig up shit about him. Until then, fuck off. I don't care. So, you know, prostate's checked. Do all that. Fun stuff. Joe Biden, we're thinking of you. I will continue to think good thoughts. People send your good energy his way. Because I'm sure Dr. Biden does not want to lose her husband. And I'm sure Hunter does not want to lose his dad. And all of that fun stuff. So please send good, positive thoughts his way.
Yes. We love you, Joe. We do. And we'll be back on him because she's going to do the tarot. And I loved. Oh, the hearts. I love it. But in other news, we have an update on Judge Hannah Dugan, Milwaukee. She was arrested outside of her courtroom for doing nothing fucking wrong because Kash Patel's on a little power grab. The update was a federal grand jury has indicted her, which we knew would happen. That is like a textbook thing that happens, okay? That is not the breaking news. What is the breaking news is that she has come and her legal team has come prepared to open the biggest can of worms. They said, bet, you want to go down this road? Let's do it. What is our defense? Well, judicial immunity is our defense because that's what it is. Judicial immunity says that Judge Hannah Dugan can act in her courtroom using her own discernment, using her own discretion, because that is what you have given her the title to do. So if that doesn't stand, if immunity doesn't mean anything, then that makes my brain go, who also has immunity? Huh. Maybe Donneria. Maybe good old Trumpy boy. has executive immunity. And boy, does he have immunity that he shouldn't have. So if you want to open this can of worms, if the DOJ wants to take this and run with it, if Pam Bondi wants to try it, if Kash Patel wants to try it, they're going to have to say that her immunity means nothing. And if that is the case, that opens up the door to saying that he doesn't deserve it either. Immunity means nothing, right? So here's the green light. All these judges can start calling Trump into the courtroom because they're the same. Immunity, one person immunity doesn't trump the other. That's why we have 3 branches of government, all of the things that we always talk about. Judicial immunity, executive immunity, it's immunity. So if one person's doesn't count, all of them don't count. You know?
Do it.
So this is a win-win for us guys. It's a win-win for her because either they're going to go, oh, ooh, no. Never mind, we don't want to take this case. Back up, backpedal, back the train up. And she's good. Or they 10 toes down, go through with this, and then we watch the battle of a lifetime that could take Trump's last line of defense. His last line of defense is going to be his immunity, if it's not his life, you know, him living. And they're going to shred that right up. That safety blanket that he has where he can do whatever he wants because he has immunity, if that gets shredded, that is it. So my personal opinion is I think that Pam and Kash, you got this. Take this on. Let's go. It's like us telling Marjorie to run for Senate. Do it. Put your whole chest into it. Let's see this.
You got it.
Because this is what we mean by they're playing chess while the administration's playing checkers. Like
Choking on
Judge Hannah Dugan is quite literally playing pro chess while Kash Patel's choking on checker pieces.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
That's the analogy. So if this does happen, guys, it's going to be probably, they said, late June, July, that we'll see movement on this. I'm ready. Buckle in. I'm not saying it's it. I'm not going to be that person anymore. Okay, guys, I'm Blue Lulu, but sometimes at some point you got to get off the train. I'm not saying that this is it, guys. It's going to be, I'm just saying that this would be the moment where we kind of shred that immunity talk, because that's the case. This opens a lot of doors. It might not be the door, but it opens a lot of doors that weren't open right now.
Pandora only comes out of the box. She doesn't go back in.
Mm-hmm.
So do it. Do it.
Do it. I say they do it. That's my vote.
Light the candle.
Light this fucking candle.
And, okay, so more fuckery from this guy. Walmart said they will be raising prices due to tariffs, and Donald Trump said you shouldn't. You should absorb that.
Walmart, no.
You should absorb. Don't. You should absorb those tariffs because I said so. There's no other logic. I said so.
The true social of that is just so funny. Like, have you ever just thought of calling the CEO of Walmart and talking to him?
Like, what's going on?
It's like the Kris Kardashian. What if you just called Taylor up? What if you just called the CEO of Walmart up instead of truth socialing him saying,
and we know that this is because this is the primary shopping spot for MAGA. So if they see that, oh, we have to pay the tariffs, he told us we didn't have to pay the tariffs. Why are we paying the tariffs? Hey, can somebody tell us what a tariff is and why we're paying it? That is the only reason. It is the same thing with the Amazon surcharge. Jeff Bezos said, hey, Amazon surcharge that is labeled, this is because Donald Trump turned on the tariffs. He called him up. He said, Jeff, I need you to turn that off right now.
He said, yes, Daddy.
Right now, if these people who don't know what a tariff is find out that I'm the one making them pay for it, I'm fucked. Turn it off now.
Yes, Daddy, yes.
Yeah.
Anything for you.
And I don't know what he promised these people before the election for them to donate, but I mean, the only thing they're getting in return is a loss in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So great job.
And our
Great job.
plea is, Walmart, you have a chance to do the thing. Okay, do what Jeff was gonna do. I want you in that store labeling what the price would have been, and then say tariff plus and what it is now.
I need
You have a
And I
chance to do it.
I need those.
and I forgot. Inside source told Walmart reporters, no, nothing has changed. The prices are still going up. So again,
He said,
light that match, light the candle. Let's see. Let it burn. Let's see what the fuck happens. Let's see if they see it. Let's see if they read it. Let's see. I want to see it.
and they can stop shopping there. You can threaten that all you want. I'd love for MAGA to
Can't
stop
wait.
shopping at Walmart.
Oh,
They ruin
they'd
it.
be gone. Walmart would be dead. It's a wrap. It's a
Because we're
wrap.
not shopping
If
there
they
either.
stop- It's it. It's a wrap.
Walmart sucks too. Like like the Walmart parking lot is shit. It's shitty lighting. It's in a horrible shopping center that they do not maintain, with a horrible
It's all around bad.
shops and like a half shut down Staples that's still up and running but looks like it's supposed to be shut down.
We got a hair salon in
There's
there.
a hair salon in there. There's a Five Below 2 doors down. Like, you know.
It's just
And
wild.
then there's a Meijer that's like right away with its own pristine, clean gas station, parking lot that's flat and maintained and lit, a drive-through pharmacy, and like the carts are beautiful. There's small carts and big carts so you can choose. And like
Yeah.
nobody goes there. Every time I go, it's like half empty. And they're all at Walmart, and I'm like, y'all suck. It's better over here.
Yeah.
I know, like Meijer is still one of the ideally don't shop there places, but you know, you do what you got to do where you got to.
Yeah.
I try to shop in other places when I can, but if it's a choice between I have to go to Walmart or Meijer, I'm going to Meijer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the last bit of not great news that Kitty has to relay.
Bad news bear.
Sorry. This one could have been bad.
It could have been very
Yes.
bad. Thankfully, it was not as bad as it could have been. I want to hear from the pro-lifers because embryos were at stake here. The lives of many, many embryos were put at stake in an IVF bombing in Palm Springs at a fertility clinic. So I want to know, where's the outrage? Where is the outrage for all of those embryos that were put in harm's way? Seriously. No? Crickets?
Not a,
Why? Why? I bet if it was a daycare, you might be a little more upset about it, wouldn't you? Why?
No, they would say thoughts and prayers.
would they?
Thoughts and prayers. But you know, I still think, especially if they were parents with kids in that daycare, they might be a little more upset about a bombing outside their kids' daycare. Just a thought. I digress. Anyway, so this was a terrorist attack. It has been determined that this very much was a targeted attack on the fertility clinic, planned and everything. One person is dead, 4 others were injured. It looks like it was a car bombing. There was a lot. You can read the official articles on all the standard information of the who, what's, when, where, and whys. I don't want to really draw attention to all of the disaster. I want to highlight the fact that, thank God, nobody who worked at the clinic was harmed. Because
yeah, the person who died is not like, it was not at the clinic.
Was not
the person who died was the person who did it.
It was the person who did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
So the one good news is that the person who did this did not further harm other people or the embryos. Just so you guys, in case you really cared or not, the embryos did survive and were unharmed. And I'm sure the parents that created those embryos are very much relieved, and I am grateful for them, because I am one to say trying to get pregnant on purpose is not an easy feat and is very draining emotionally, physically, everything. Financially, it is. I was fortunate enough to get pregnant without intervention. I don't want to say naturally, because nature is nature. Whether you got it one way or another, naturally happened. So I don't like to say natural so much as just without the intervention. So I was fortunate enough to be able to get pregnant that way, but that was after years of trying and tears. Other people were trying a lot less than I was before they chose to go the IVF route due to other reasons or circumstances. And I'm grateful that nobody was severely, went after hours. Nobody was at the clinic. It wasn't a day they had patients. It was an overall miracle that this could have been horrible. This could have been horrible. I'm grateful that I did not end with the worst story.
No, but if you've heard all of this and you're outraged by any of this, and it should be all of this is outrageous
Revolution.
to even hear.
Where's that revolution?
And you would like to do something to stop this, Devin, why don't you introduce the People's Sick Day?
So we are all heavily involved in a movement we're working on. Shout out to Angel and Caress for bringing this to us. It's called the People's Sick Day. If you haven't seen it, I mean, we're literally posting about it every single day. Every day, posting it out on TikTok, writing about it on Substack. We're on it every day. So it is a 3-day labor strike, 3-day economic blackout. Dates are not being announced because these companies and these corporations, they monitor these apps. They know what we're trying to do, so it's not being released yet. Do not ask. People are still
Stop asking.
But we did, Crest did open up a server to the general public so you can stay in the loop. It's starting to blow up a bit. So if you want an invite, hit us in the DMs, comment on the video. Hey, can I get a link to the Discord? Absolutely.
And just be ready.
Yes, be ready for that. Okay.
Because when the day drops, the time comes, it's going to be fast. And
call out.
Act as if, you don't figure out in advance if you're going to be sick. So that's why you should stop asking for the date, because that's like asking yourself when you're going to get sick next.
When am I going to catch the flu?
I wonder. No, you're going to hear the date and you're going to go, oh, I think I'm coming down with something.
I think I have a tummy ache.
Now, there are people who are not going to be able to take the day off. If you're a doctor, firefighter, you're somebody who serves the people, we do not expect you to call out. Do not call out. But there are other things you could do, like choosing not to spend money that day, bringing in your own lunch from home. Don't go out and buy the coffee. Don't go to Walmart after and buy some clothes.
Wear black.
Or if you're in a position that's not like, surgery saving lives, and you're in a position where maybe you work a desk job and you're able to not give like 100% or do a full day, maybe do a half day, take a long lunch, maybe, really take your time answering those emails.
I was on my...
Get sick in the middle of the day.
Yeah, wow.
No.
Just anything you can do. Don't feel like you're like, I have to work so I can't even do this. Join the Discord. You can share, how you're feeling, and then there are plenty of people that can come in and give you advice on what you can do. That's my piece on it.
And also, during that 3-day period, it's going to be fun. There's going to be a live-orama. Our friend Controversial Barbie, Bree, had an idea and said, why don't we do a pass the baton type situation? There's going to be hosts. Kitty's going to be doing tarot readings. We're going to be having one that... if you want to come up and promote your small business, we'll be hosting those ones. There's people that are going to be doing like constitutional law type seminar, mental health seminar, financial literacy, pajama party while we're all at home.
I'll give
Black
away
history.
Talent show. So
Think
we're
of
gonna make it
it
fun.
as like Cory Booker's filibuster, you know, when he stood up for 25 hours and actually educated people to make change. That's what we're going to be doing on these lives. It's not just going to be us sitting there going, ha, ha. No, we're going to take the time to educate, promote people who should be promoted, bring up people who have worked really diligently throughout this time frame to bring about change in any way. So, you know, that's where I'd want to be if I was sitting at home. I'd want to be contributing to that. And if you have something you would like to contribute to with Alive, like a small business or a talent or some research you've done, in the Discord, get in that Discord, let us know. So if you want the Discord link, all of our DMs are open on all of our socials. Hit us up. We have our email in here as well. You can email us. We will send you the link and add you in. It's blowing up. The Discord's blowing up. So definitely join in and keep a lookout for the date. And stop asking for it.
It's not that as good. Please, I'm begging you. Please.
And now we bring you a sneak peek at some tarot.
So this is going to be really fun. We did a tarot reading for Joe Biden when I did his story on his prostate cancer. I did a tarot reading, our first run through. So that'll be a clip, I'm sure. And we have the Page of Swords reversed. This one is basically feeling blindsided. Kind of just feeling stuck, uncertain, all that fun stuff. Then we move on to the Emperor reversed, which is feeling old and weak. I mean, he's feeling his age. He's certainly feeling his age. The Lovers reversed. It's a lot of breaking apart of what he wants to do, what he feels like he ought to do. Should he fight? Should he not? He's tired, but he's not ready. You know what I mean? There's lots of back and forth there. Mm-hmm. So just feeling a little conflicted, that cognitive dissonance. This one made me laugh when I pulled the card, and we have to make it a clip because this popped up as I was talking about his unfortunate passing of his child.
Yeah, that was wild.
So this does not actually mean literal death, but it does mean a huge change in one's life, a defining moment in one's life. I mean, he got told he had cancer. That's a defining moment in one's life. He's getting told to move on from the past. You can't change it. Move on from the things you can't control and look forward to the brighter day ahead. The skies are still clear. There's still hope. It's not like he's been handed a death sentence for tomorrow. This is very manageable. I got the 6 of Pentacles, which is generosity with time and resources, circumstances. He's in a positive position to give and to receive. And this is just a good sign that things will be okay for him. The past, we have the King of Swords. This is him being strong, courageous, and emotionally mature figure and leader. A leader that led with the truth rather than stupid ass lies and goddamn television reality stars from freaking Fox News. I'm so goddamn tired of it. We had justice in the present. So this tells me that he is feeling more balanced. I have a feeling that around the time that he dropped out of the election is when he realized something was really wrong. Maybe he didn't get the official diagnosis then, but I think that's when doctors started saying, hey, bud, something's up. We need to run some testings. So I feel like justice here is saying things are balancing out and things are going to be okay in the long run. Because that was his present, his central card of the entire spread. His future, he's going to fight. He's going to fight like hell. He's not done. There's too much at stake. The 5 of Wands, he's got a fiery, passionate spirit. And there's too much he wants to do. So we're going to see more of Joe Biden. Don't you worry.
Love it.
Ah!
It makes me happy for our good Joe. It's like our dad, you know? We want him to be
Pretty
okay,
Joe.
and we want him to fight. So I'm glad that's how he's feeling. So yeah, let's do our last couple segments. We've got the Do Not Comply in Advance Award. This week it is going to Romania because Romania joined the likes of Canada, Australia, Germany in saying, I don't know what y'all are doing in America, but we're not with it. We are nobody's Trumpies. We're nobody's Putins. No. So they said F you, and they're the pro-Trump, pro-Putin candidate lost immediately. So
Jealous.
Romania, we love you. We're jealous. And if we can take any wins out of what happened, at least we can say that other countries saw what happened with us and said, we're not fucking doing that. And that is a win in my eyes. Like, at least the entire world isn't collapsing.
I did say it had to happen this way. That was the message
Yeah.
I got. It had to happen this way.
So yes, they win the award. And we have a rebrand, Devin, of Traders in the Chat.
We have turned it into the Hot Mess Index. We're doing something with that.
Stay
That's coming
tuned.
down the line.
Something visual. It's going to be great.
But it's Hot Mess Index. It's like the burn book from Mean Girls. So this entry is the Traders in the Chat. So the Democrats, again, all of them, because they said, why do we want to impeach him right now? He's only human trafficking and market manipulating and doing all the things that he shouldn't be doing. They said it'd be a distraction and cause people to get primaried. Wrong. You not getting caught not trying is what's going to get you primaried.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever, man. The new chair of the DNC, Ken Martin, he wants to recall David Hogg and Malcolm Kenyatta's vice chair positions because made up bullshit. He said they want a split ballot. The only reason that this is happening is because they are trying to fund a $20 million initiative to primary the fossils who are currently doing nothing in the Democratic Party. Ken Martin said they shouldn't be swaying an election. That's not what's happening.
No.
I don't know why. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it. I know why, because they're trying to keep the status quo when they want to get rid of the young people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
God forbid.
old people.
God forbid. We want some young
go.
people with, their head on straight.
Yes, like the people that we will be talking to soon. And then last but not least, my nemesis, the antagonist to my story, Hakeem Jeffries, decided that the position that Jerry Connolly was given for the DNC Oversight Committee, it was initially supposed to be him and AOC. AOC threw her name in the hat for that. Nancy Pelosi broke her hip in Germany, from a bed in Germany, decided to call up some people, said, make sure AOC doesn't get this position. So Jerry Connolly was given the position, a 74-year-old man with throat cancer. And guess what happened? The thing everybody said that was going to happen. His cancer came back 4 months later. So now he has to step down. Who happens to be the vice chair? Jasmine Crockett, that one Democrat that everybody loves. And what does my arch nemesis decide to do? He says, I would like to find somebody completely different than the person who should be in that position, being Jasmine Crockett. Hakeem Jeffries, I forgot to call you today because
you gave him a day off.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna be blowing up your line, so expect the call. It's Devin again. What the fuck are you doing?
Or calling anyone.
Why are you?
I just leave messages, voicemails. That way I know the next morning they have to wake up and hear them. And that makes me happy, especially if I got particularly spicy on the voice.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I'm unhinged at this point.
Just say you hate women. Just say it. Because there is absolutely no other reason why Jasmine Crockett would not get that position. She is overqualified, probably underpaid. And she is the only one listening to us, actually getting boots on the ground, standing on business. And for some reason, you loved it when Corey did it, but you don't love it when Jasmine's doing it. Seems like you hate women. Just say it so that we can at least know who you really are. You know?
Put your dollar store Obama impression.
You lead the Hot Mess Index, okay? You're front page. your front page.
You have multiple entries, brother.
You entered your villain era, and that's not my fault. That is your fault. And now we've got, yes, that really did happen. Last week, it was all over the place, but Linda took it. Linda, you done fucked up.
Which we do have to do a quick correction on that, because we were checked on TikTok when somebody was like, hey, by the way, we don't know for sure if the letter came from Harvard. It could have been a student or someone else. But yeah, it's very likely she saw it either way.
Yeah.
Still hilarious. It's still the real letter that did happen where somebody corrected it. But we have to check ourselves and make sure that we just can say, hey, we fact checked. We were wrong about this one thing that Harvard did not correct in return to them. We don't know who corrected.
But somebody did.
Somebody did.
And it's hilarious.
And it.
So, yes, we'll always fact check us. We want to be wrong.
Please. We will not.
Please. We will never. Yeah. But this week we've got some fun options. We've got Vance entering the chat again. So the man can't take a hint. He killed the Pope. We've got a new Pope who doesn't like him. And you want to know what JD Vance said? I'm going to go to that first Sunday Mass. I'm going to invite myself. This man can literally not take a hint. He killed the fucking Pope. And now the new Pope is in his place. New Pope doesn't like him. Doesn't like him. And he said, I'm going to show up. And I want to shake his hand.
The new
and
Pope,
that he did.
Or did y'all?
That he did. Guys, he's there. He's there. There is video of him and Usha looking scared as fuck, shaking this man's hand.
What's new?
And now everyone needs to keep an eye on Pope Leo. Okay? Everyone watch him.
Oh, we have a Pope that can skateboard. Did y'all know that? That is
all right.
fun.
Next, we've got Trump on his little nice new plane. He decided he was going to so he decided we were going to truce social that Taylor Swift is not hot. Don't get it twisted. She's not
You're
hot.
not hot.
Because apparently that's all that goes through his mind. The dementia's really, So that really happened.
Imagine
next
your grandpa in a diaper coming up to you going, you're not that hot. And you're like, I got Travis Kelce in my bed. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah. Next, we've got some wild speculation. Again, not confirmed. We have no confirmation that this is that this is happening. But there's speculation that there will be a reality TV show, Hunger Games style, for immigrants to fight it out for legal status. Again, speculation, but the fact that it took them way too long to come out and say, we don't know anything about it. Okay.
Red flag.
And last but not least, we've got Trump commissioning his pollster that he used for his own election to create the polls showing Marjorie Taylor Greene that if she ran for Senate, that she would lose in a landslide.
In a landslide.
He literally said, I will hire my own pollster to show you how fucked you'll be. Please don't do this. And she said, I might still do it. I don't know if I believe you.
Fake news.
That one I've seen 3 trustworthy sources on. Okay. I believe he did tell her that. I don't know if the response from her is actually correct, but I'm going to go on the record and say 3 trustworthy news sources has said that he showed her using his pollster that she would lose. And that is not a lie. She's going to lose.
She would lose.
Okay.
100%.
He's just telling her, stop being stupid. And that's wild coming from him.
That's really
so
when he's telling you to stop. I'm sorry, that inbreeding has inbred a little too far.
He said, don't listen, because we've been out here saying, yes, girl, run. Because then she'll lose and she'll be gone. But
the guy who can't read said, stop being stupid.
And she said, I might still do it. So here's our plea. Marjorie, don't listen to him. You know he's got dementia. Don't listen to him. Just do it. You're going to win. You got this, girl. I'll vote for you. I'll vote for you.
My
Girl
Move
boss.
to Georgia, she'll totally vote for you.
Yeah.
Can't even say.
But yes, guys, that's episode 7.
Thank
And
you.
we've got updates to end this. So starting next week, we are going to be releasing a new series. So we'll still have our Monday. So hopefully Monday. We might have to re-record. You never know.
Technically Tuesday.
Yes, we'll still have our normal weekly podcast like this where we go over all the news stories. But we're adding a new series that will be interviews because you're hearing all this BS and you would like to know when primaries are coming up who you should be voting for. It's not going to be these people.
Nope.
We need a new fresh set. So what we are going to be doing is interviewing grassroots candidates. These are candidates that are not no.
They're from all over. They're from
all over, and they are not nepo babies of politics. They are not, drowning in funds up the yin yang of money
oligarch.
that they can use. These are regular people like us that are like,
they're just sick of this.
bet we can do this better than any of you, and we believe in them. Every single person we're interviewing, we believe in. And when you are sitting there with your dollar saying, who am I going to donate to? Do I donate to the DNC where I don't really know what is going down with it? Or, you want to mute. If you have your money, you don't know where you want to donate to. And I get it. I'm like, who am I donating this money to? Because this isn't it. Maybe give your money to the candidate themselves. The candidate that you have watched on this interview and you go, oh, yes, I want to give my money to them. I want to make sure they are the next generation. So that's what we're doing. They're not going to be super long. They'll be like 30, 40 minutes. And definitely support and listen to them. These are people that are putting everything into this, people that are still working their day-to-day 9-to-5 job. Their parents, one of them's a firefighter, literally life on the line every day and still doing this. So keep an eye out. We're starting interviews this week, and then we'll be releasing them. So they'll seem like bonus episodes because you'll see more of us, but they're going to be its own series of interviews. So keep an eye out. We're very excited. As always, we are on Substack. We're on TikTok. We are on Blue Sky. We're posting daily on all of those platforms. We are also part of People's Sick Day, so you're going to be seeing more of that. We've got a lot coming up. It's very exciting.
And if there's us to highlight, if there's anything you want us to spotlight, you can write us, you can message us, you can call in whenever we're doing our lives. Let us know if there's anything you want us to share. If you're running for a local seat, let us know. We'd be happy to spotlight you so that we can help get the word out there. Please.
Or if something's going down, people started messaging us saying, can you cover the story because it's not getting coverage. If you know something's going down in your state and nobody's talking about it, send it to us because it's getting suppressed and we know that. So send it to us. Our DMs are open. Yes, if you are running, reach out to us. Oh my God, please reach out to us. And we're just really excited about what we're doing. Again, we are not in this for money. We are not making money. I will say that every episode. That's not what we're doing this for. We are just trying to literally stop this from happening. We got to stop it. So this is part of what we can do. We can support the next generation that's coming in and saying, yeah, we're not doing any of that. Let us in. Let us have a shot. So look forward to it.
Facts.
And we hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And thank you guys for listening as always.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.